We're seeing now by Yerushalmi Simplified, Maseches Avodah Zarah, Daf Chof Daled, Amud Beis. It's Mishnah. It starts Halacha Yud Beis. We didn't finish yet this last part here. Mipnei ma hakol poshim hamena. So this is a quite ambiguous, this Gemara, what it means here. Why does everybody go away from her, from Ashera? Nation Ibulara, because it's a very bad smell. It says we don't know what is the Gemara trying to say here, or what does this mean. It's very hidden. This, so anybody who has a good pshat should please tell me. We go to Halacha Yud Beis. Not lemena eitzem asurim b'anoi hisik behem ataner. If he used it to heat up an oven, im chadash yutas. If it's a new oven, and that when you heat it up, that's when it turns into a usable oven. Im yashin, then you have to smash the oven. If it's an old oven, yutzan, you should make it cold. It means to say you cannot use this source of heat to bake bread. If he went ahead and he did use it to bake bread in it, so then the Mishnah says, Asura, that pas, you cannot eat that bread. This arv b'acheres, if that bread got mixed up with other kosher breads, kulam asuras b'ano, you cannot use all these breads. No, he can take, that bread costs $2, he throws $2 in the ocean, and that means that he's not having any benefit from that bread. There's no redemption of Avodah Zarah. It doesn't work this trick. Now, this Gemara here is also ambiguous and not easy to understand what is going on. And I understand that this goes on the Gemara in Pesachim. The Gemara in Pesachim says there, a machlokes of Rabbi v'Chachamim, if a person uses arla stuff to bake a bread, if the bread is asr. So the Gemara explains that this machlokes Amar Rab Chizda b'stam chalukan. The argument goes in a case where it's stam. Stam means we don't know his intention, not specified. In the hasik the rahakol, if it's to make the oven hot, the rahakol mutter, then the bread is mutter. Im la ashen the rahakol aser. If he needs the smoke, it means he needs it. So since we don't know what the Gemara is going on, we don't know the pshat either. And Lula de Mustafina, I would say, is the opposite gears. Im lahasik de rahakol aser. If he's using the eitzim of arla to make the oven hot, then for sure he cannot have that bread, because it means without that he couldn't have a bread. So I'm going to change it for aser because that makes more sense. And if somebody has a good pshat, then he could change it back. In la ashen divrakul mutter, because then it's not really. It's for the excessive amount of heat that's not necessary, just actually ruins the bread. The rahakol mutter. Then there's no hanoah from this. Right? Mazik apas. Okay. Not a man character. If you took a shuttle, they used to have a wood that they used for weaving. They threw the shuttle from one end to the next. That's how they wove, and that's a nice piece of stick that's used. Aser bana, you cannot use this shuttle. Org by a beged aser bana. The whole cloth becomes aser. It's arba chayrim kulam aser bana. You make 100 different cloths. Everything becomes aser. The same like before. No, there's no way to redeem Avodah Zarah. Omer of Chagai, kach nechosis mit Ilfe, when I went down from my boat, Ashkochos of Yanke ba'ache, Yosef Makshe. And here, I'm almost sure you're supposed to say Yosef Masna. He was sitting and he was saying like this. What was he saying? Not lemene karker osabano or besabeged osabano. So what an inan in macher kula lenachar chutz v'yayin esach shaboy. So he was asking, why is it different than halacha we have later on, that if it fell in yayin esach and wine of kosher wine, you sell it for a goy, and you don't charge him for that money. Let's say it fell in 1 ounce. 1 ounce of wine is 50 cents. So you deduct, instead of selling it for $10, you sell it for $9.50. Why here can't we say the same thing? We just don't charge for that specific let's say you're selling 100 clothing, so you don't charge for that clothing, for that one that you use the shuttle of Avodah Zarah. Yes, a good question. Now I want to hear a good answer. What is the answer? The guy is not going to resell it for a yid. Here it's a normal thing that people should buy things from a guy, so it's going to end up in a Yiddish hand, and that's no good. That's why you cannot sell it, this whole package, this whole box of clothing. Let's say you have 100 clothings, and you're selling it for the guy for a cheaper price. That's okay, but then what's going to happen in the end? A Yid is going to buy it from the guy. The guy is a retailer. He's going to sell it for a Yid, and then a Yid is going to wear this baggage that was woven with karka shel Avodah Zarah. Ketzet mevatla. Now we're going back to the Ashera tree. How does he make sure it should be nullified? Nullify the status of Avodah Zarah. So Mishnah says, Kirsem. There's a few methods to do it. Kirsem, he pruned it, he trimmed it. Not a Markulis, but he took even a stick or a twig, a fila ola, even one leaf, a rezi betela. Means you're not treating it as a real Avodah Zarah, because you are using it for your own personal benefits. Shefa, if you sawed the wood, you want a piece of wood, you're cutting a nice piece of wood from the tree. Letzarka, if you do it for your own benefit to make the tree look nicer, asura. Shaloi letzarka muteres. If you're doing it just to take a wood, muteres. That's muter. Because then it shows that you're disregarding it, you're not treating it with dignity. Rav says, Letzarkoi bein hi bein shefoya mutar. If you did it for his benefit, for the person that's sawing off that piece of wood, so then we say everything becomes bottled. Bein hi, the tree itself, bein shefoya means that piece of wood that you cut off, mutar. Everything is okay because you mavatal Avodah Zarah. The tzarka, however, if you did it for her benefit, you want to try to make the tree more productive, hi asura, then we say the tree itself does not become bottle. However, that piece of wood that he took off is mutter. Now, what does Shmuel say? Shmuel Omar letzarka bein hi bein shefaya asura. He goes one chumrah on each thing, he adds a chumrah. He says, if it's letzarka, he did it for her benefit, for the tree's benefit, then everything is aser. Not like Rav said that piece that he took off is mutter. No, everything is aser. If you did it for your own benefit, he asura shvayim mutar. Then we say that it's the piece that he took off is mutter, but the tree itself still becomes aser. So it's basically we're seeing here that Shmuel is going down in each case, going down one step. He's actually going up. He's making it more strict. Rabbi Yochanan Omar, bein letzarcha, bein letzarkoi. It's missing here words. Bein. We don't care. The rule applies by both of them the same. Either he did it for his own benefit or for her benefit. It's always the same rule that the piece of wood that he chopped off is mutter, and the The rest of the tree remains Aser. So Rabbi Yochanan is like in between Rav and Shmuel. It's a middle shitta. Hadon Alach Perik Shlishi Kolat Lamim. Now Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach start Perik Rabbi Shmuel. Perik Rabbi Shmuel deals with Markulis. Till now we dealt with Ashera. Ashera is that tree that was used for Avodah Zarah. Now dealing with stones that they used to have in the Roman days. Used to erect stones in a certain shape, and that was meant to represent the god of Mercury, Markulis. So this is the Mishnah dealing with these type of vidazars that are associated with Markulis. Rabbi Shmuel oim shalosh avonim zu b'tzad zu b'tzad Markulis asuris. So Markulis is a very big statue, and then they have stones, small stones, 3 stones. They used to worship it. They used to erect stones next to this image. So if you have even three stones, it's already considered that this belongs to this statue. Ishtaim. However, if it's only 2 stones, metaris. That's not the standard of Markulis. The way it's supposed to be set up, it has to be triangle, 2 stones and 1 on top. That's the way it shows that that was a symbol for this Avodah Zarah. Doesn't depend on that. If it seems that this stone belongs to this god, even though it's only 1 stone or 2 stones, if it seems that it's part of this big structure, it's Aser. Even if it's 3 stones, if it's not, doesn't seem that it belongs here, it's very far away, then it's mutter. Omer Rab Amar, time of Rabbi Shmuel. What's the reason of Rabbi Shmuel? Mishum Markulis Godel, it's Markulis cotton. Because it's like erecting a small one next to a big one. 3 stones is like a miniature. Rabbanan Omer Mishum Ragle Markulis. No, it's a whole different story. The problem is here, it's the feet of this Markulis. So even if it's only 1 stone, it's like a trail. He's leaving over a trail. Up to 50 amos, that's 75 feet away, is still considered like a trail, an expansion from this Avodah Zarah. Hilchos Markulis kachi. What's the normal way of building this Markulis? That's the standard. That's how they used to. That was the standard way of the symbol, as we said before, for the Markulis. Now they want to bring down an interesting halacha here. So this is, you need an introduction for this. You know there's such a din, it's called Kom Lebe de Rabbi Menei. If a person does something that is chayiv misas beisen, he deserves to be stoned, then he does not get punished for secondary averos, let's say malchus or mammon. So we're going to add an interesting question. What's the halacha nosan sashniya? He only put 2 stones. It means there's no 3 stones yet. And then he took a animal, the mother of the child, and he shechted the child. Now he's shechting the mother the same day. And we know that's also a lav in the Torah. So normally, if a person does that, he deserves malchus. Because it's no Avodah Zarah yet. So what is he doing now? Simple, he's doing an Aveira. He is slaughtering a mother with a son in the same day. That's malchus of Oisav Benoi. How about Nosan Sashlicious if he gave the 3rd one? Plukte Rav Yochanan Vashbal. It's a machloikas. I chayve mis shehistru bahem mishum lav acheres loiken. This palgan shoichet Oisav Benoi the Shem Avodah Zarah. Rav Yochanan Omar histru bahem mishum Oisav Benoi loike Shem Avodah Zarah niskul. Val Omar fille histru boy Shem Oisav Benoi ein a loike. Because it's a chayv and misas bezin, so even if you warn him from malchus, he does not get malchus.